Been up since 4:30. We are attempting to cross the Canadian border one more time.
It's gonna be a no. Hopefully it'll be a quick no.
Knowing how uncomfortable it was the first time.
I feel like we're not doing anything wrong. Hopefully they'll say okay and we'll be on our way to Alaska.
A few weeks ago, we made our first attempt at driving across the Canadian border on our way to Alaska, and it was less than successful.
I know you're bummed. It's okay.
I am really bummed. I'm really bummed.
While we figured out if we would even try again, we brought you along as we soaked, swirled, and satisfied our sweet tooths around Washington State. And today, we're returning to the border with even more paperwork in the hopes we can share an epic summer of Alaskan adventure. We're Howard and Katelyn New State, dog people, food people, adventure people. We've been traveling through North America and beyond in our Winnebago Navion since 2018. Our passion is sharing the wonderful and sometimes challenging parts of our life on the road with you, taking you off the beaten path, meeting interesting people, and trying new things. Each week we bring you along with us to explore unique things about every new state we visit.
Good morning. It is, I think, 6:30 on Monday morning, and I've been up since 4:30 because of my nerves. We are attempting to cross the Canadian border one more time. We have a more robust contract in hand, and we're gonna go for it. So I just want to get this over with, knowing how uncomfortable it was the first time. If it's meant to be, we'll be on our way to Alaska. If not, we'll be back here in the lower 48.
Hopefully they'll say okay and we'll be on our way to Alaska. The good news though is there's nobody here, so hopefully there's not gonna be a long line.
This is the point where we have to put the cameras away, and we'll see you either on the other side or right back here in the lower 48. Guys,
We did it!
I'm gonna cry. We were approved. We're in Canada. That whole process, it's 7:51.
That was unbelievably different than the first time.
So different. They were much more harsh with their questioning, but it was like more to the point, very quick, concise. Once you answered their question, they were satisfied. And then they literally said, we're finishing up your paperwork, here's your contract. And within 5 minutes, he was back with our authorization.
Alaska, here we come!
We're going to Alaska, finally! Oh, so relieved.
man.
Now we just have like almost 3,000 miles to go. Holy crap.
I know, kind of crazy.
So I have a little funny story for you guys. Sometimes I can be a little bit superstitious. Would you agree, Howard?
Yes.
So we went to the grocery store last night. We were staying like a mile from the border, and we picked up some food for dinner, and they had stickers for sale. And I've been on a big sticker kick because I'm covering my laptop and like our friends' stickers and everything. And they had an also-use British Columbia sticker, which is where we were crossing. And I was like, I want to buy it for good luck, but I also feel like it might jinx it. And Howard's like, no, you have to buy it. And I was like, okay, well, if it works, I'll stick it on my laptop. Our good luck sticker works.
That is the only reason why we were able to cross, was a $4 sticker. That's it.
That's what I'm sticking to. Thank you.
No pun intended.
Thank you. Oh, so yes.
All right. I'm already Canadian. Fill up number 1. We're at a half a tank of gas. This is a really good idea when you're heading, we're not even on the Alaska Highway yet, but it's a good practice to get into, that once you get around a half a tank of gas, go ahead and fill up if you see a gas station, because you don't know where the next one's going to be. And in some spots it gets really remote. It could be 100+ miles between gas stations.
Breaking news, breaking news. We just had our first official wildlife sighting. I don't know what they were though.
Bighorn sheep?
No, because I don't think they were bigger than bighorn sheep. I don't know. You guys know what those are? Please tell us. Educate us. We need a wildlife guide.
4,450 miles to go to Alaska. And that's to Alaska, not to Anchorage.
You're a crazy person. What time is it, Howard?
It's 11 o'clock, Katelyn.
11 o'clock at night? We're so tired.
We started driving at 7 this morning.
And by we, he started driving at 7 o'clock this morning.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. So we are at a Canadian Tire. We have stayed at this Canadian Tire before, 2 years ago. How weird is that? We're gonna sleep so hard and then get up and do it some more.
Yep. Then hopefully we can get to Alaska even quicker. All right.
Good night, y'all. Good morning.
Good morning.
How did you sleep?
I slept great. I got like 7.5 hours. Boom, ready to go again. Katelyn, do you know where we're trying to get to today?
Oh yeah, why don't you tell all the lovely people on the screen?
We're going to be driving all the way to the Yukon today. And I don't know if you all recognize how far we're going to be driving. The first time we drove to Alaska, it took us 7 days. Driving back down to Washington State, it took us 6 days. This time, 3 days.
Yeah. It was rough the first time. Like 7 days was expedited. So this is just even more bananas. And Border Patrol did give us a window of 7 days, but we just want to get out of Canada right now and get to Alaska so that we can actually like set up and relax. We've anecdotally heard stories that like if people were late, they've gotten banned from the country, and we just don't want to even risk that. So we're getting out.
Let's do it. Yukon, here we come.
Day 2. Thank you for the great spot to sleep, Canadian Tire. Look, they even have a dump station, freshwater, propane fill up. It's awesome. Ooh, the mountain.
Oh, look, it's like coming up from behind the clouds.
Ooh. We could barely see it last night. Okay, we're not newbies at this. We have done this drive before. We've made a video about things that you need to know about doing this drive. And we just broke a cardinal rule.
Cardinal rule is you're supposed to, oh man, we're totally good. I just saw a spoiler. You're not supposed to let the gas tank ever get below a half a tank of gas. So I pump faked and didn't pull over at the gas station that we passed because I was like, well, there's a gas station up ahead. But then I started to second guess myself and I really wasn't sure. Now, I just saw a sign that said that there is gas in 2 kilometers, and so therefore we are saved. But if I had been wrong, okay, we would have actually had to stop, turn around, and then drive back to that gas station before, because we would not have had enough gas in order to get to the next one.
But the travel gods have rained down upon us, we think, and I think we're alright.
We still have a quarter tank of gas.
Here you go, gas.
Yep. Yeah, we still have a quarter tank of gas. Oh, I remember this place.
You got lucky.
It wasn't luck.
What do you think, Scout?
It was luck.
Was it luck, Scout?
I think we just went up a level on the challenge. You know, now we're on like level 5. You know, everything was fine. Now they're starting to throw in a couple of, you know, big potholes, a couple gravel sections.
So like Mario Kart with the bananas?
Yeah.
laughing so hard right now. We just had our first official moose sighting.
We almost saw two. We almost saw two moose. Or meese. Moose.
I only saw one moose.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
You did.
So we see the first moose. Like, there's a moose, and I look out my window, and there's this glorious large moose galloping through the forest. And I look forward, and I see what I think is a moose up ahead on the road. And I'm like, there's another moose. And I was like, where? And I was like, on the expletive road. It was a person.
It was just a guy in jeans and a sweatshirt. And I'm like, it doesn't look like a moose.
From a distance, the way it was moving, I was like, that's another moose just walking down the road. I was so excited from the first moose sighting. But it was not.
Not even close.
And I have the better eyes of the two of us.
Do you?
Yeah.
We're almost to the Yukon border, and two things. One, this is actually where we're going to pick up the Alaska Highway, like the Alaska Highway that will take us to Alaska. The second thing is the Yukon has specific provincial restrictions on travel, and you're only allowed 24 hours, clock hours, to cross the Yukon. We've been told that there are pretty serious penalties if you don't stick to that, so we're going to try. And there's like a checkpoint of some kind as soon as we cross the border from British Columbia into the Yukon.
Traveler registration.
Okay, so we register.
Alright, well the checkpoint was still here. It was basically just a COVID-19 checkpoint, and they make you acknowledge that you do have only 24 hours to enter and then exit the Yukon, like Howard mentioned. They asked us like where we had stopped last night, and because we're fully vaccinated, it kind of made us, I guess, exempt from fully explaining a self-isolation plan. But we're in our RV, and they were cool with that, so.
Didn't really, no problems, no questions.
They said that was all we needed to do tonight too, as long as we were out in 24 hours. So onward through the Yukon. It's kind of the last stretch.
Can I sing the song?
Which one? They'll do it. Are you talking about on the road again?
Yeah.
Oh, we've been on the road.
Yeah, but now we're on the road again. Going places that I've never been.
You've been here.
Oh, I have been here. That's true.
You guys know how I feel about that song.
I can't wait to be back on the road again. Now we're on the road.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So are we officially on the Alaska Highway yet? Or?
We are. We're on the Alaska Highway right now.
Woo!
And now we're going to be off the Alaska Highway because we're going to stop and get some gas. I can confirm it was not a person wearing jeans. It was not a pair of dogs. It was a moose.
Honest to God moose, and he was just standing there, and then we approached, and he ran off into the woods. We're only 5 minutes from our stop for the night, so got lucky. By the way, it is 10:39 at night, and the sun is still out, because sunset is not for another almost hour. Sleepy.
All right, we're doing what we do best. We're scoping out a free spot. And I gotta tell you, this looks great so far. As long as we can park here, and it looks like we can.
Yeah, wow.
Look at that, we got a mountain, we got a lake.
It's very cold. Oh yeah.
Wow. What a beauty.
Okay, let's go get the RV.
Yeah.
It's like 40 degrees out.
You can totally pull right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Gee. Howard, what's wrong? Alright, back up.
Go, hurry.
Alright, it is, what time? I don't even know.
It's almost 11 p.m.
How far did we drive today, Howard?
722 miles. But we will be in Alaska in the early afternoon tomorrow.
Tomorrow! You did so good. Mwah, thank you for driving all that way. 14 and a half hours.
Yeah. It's a long day.
Bedtime. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good morning. Well, we don't know if it's a good morning yet. So we had a great night's sleep here.
It's great, actually. It's a beautiful spot. Katelyn, there's no problems.
We showered.
Like I said, everything's great.
Hard's like, go put the key back in the car. So we have to put it into neutral to tow. And I go out there and it's totally dead.
The battery is completely dead. But I'm gonna try a couple things first. Before I even try and unhook it and all that stuff, we have a battery charger.
As long as we can get it enough
start.
right so that we can pop it into neutral, we can deal with it when we get to Alaska.
Correct.
But we've got to get out of Yukon by what time? 6:30.
Yeah, this feels like The Amazing Race or something like that. Like we basically have to get out of the Yukon, and we only have 24 hours from the time we entered, so we have to be out by 6 p.m.
Yeah, and it's 7:30 a.m. right now.
7:30 a.m. right now.
The clock is ticking. Go.
We gotta go. Where's the clue?
All right, I'll pack up.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thanks. Well, according to this, the battery's fully charged.
Huh.
So there's no lights at all. This is weird.
How silly of us to think that we could get through this road trip without any problems after our last road trip. Well, very bad news. That didn't work. Like, it's just totally dead.
Yeah, the plot thickens. Like, I think the battery's fine.
Should have bought that other one when we had a chance. We didn't even tell you guys about that.
We almost bought another new to us, old 1997 Honda CR-V.
Yeah, like just a couple days ago when we were in Wenatchee because we were having major problems with this one. We were able to get it fixed, and now this happens. So we're gonna try to manually put it into neutral so that we can at least tow it and get out of Yukon. Fingers crossed. The other crappy thing is that we haven't had cell service in about 24 hours, and so we can't even like look up what this problem could be or like call my dad, who's a mechanic, who could probably help us like troubleshoot this. Like, we're just on our own out here in the wilderness.
Okay. Katelyn, just think about all the good times that we had with our CR-V and all the picnics that we had.
Is this where we roll the beautiful footage?
It's kind of like when I lost my sunglasses.
I will remember you.
Oh, don't sing. Don't sing.
I can't sing.
No.
The good news is you don't have to worry about us getting demonetized because they'll never be able to tell what song it actually is.
Second to last fill up and then Alaska.
My love,
Yes.
how does it feel to be on this stretch? The home stretch.
The end is near. Our next and final stop in Canada is Beaver Creek, which is where you cross the border into Alaska. Now, because of COVID restrictions, we have to turn over a piece of paper that they gave to us when we entered Canada. I guess the timestamp to say we left Canada on this date and time. So that way you don't do anything enjoyable whatsoever in Canada. All right, well, that was actually surprisingly easy. We just went in, presented back the document. He was like, wow, like, you know, that was really fast. He was basically making hay about the fact that we made it in 3 days. It's like, dude, you're supposed to make it as quickly as possible.
He's like, oh, the 21st, you're early. And we're like, yeah, I mean, we wanted to get in and get out like we're supposed to. And he's like, did he drive the whole way? I said, yeah, I offered, but he wanted to do it. He goes, you weren't speeding, were you? No.
So the other thing to point out, it is 3:35 and we had 24 hours, which meant 6 p.m. So we had 2.5 hours to spare. That's crazy.
Yeah, 24 hours is a little tight. And so now we're kind of like in this weird no man's land. There are about 30 kilometers until we'll be at the US border.
So I guess we can do whatever we want in the next like 20 miles.
How does it feel?
Oh, I'm so relieved to be done. We started in Key West. That was 4,000 miles ago. And I'm really glad that we're finally in Alaska. And I can't wait to explore.
Thank you so much for coming along with us on that epic drive across Canada to get here to the Alaska state line.
But we have so many more adventures to share, so be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you get notifications of all of our adventures as we cross Alaska in ways that some people have never done before.
Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon from the 49th state.
See ya.